Tibet, the roof of the world. A place which was completely closed to the outside world until the beginning of the 20th century. Only very few travelers made their way through the protecting mountains of the Himalayas. Today we're traveling there on the highest railway in the world, the Beijing-Lhasa Express, touching thin air plateaus more than 5,000 meters above sea level. I am carrying video postcards from two Tibetan refugees, two 23-year-old men who left their homes and parents 10 years ago. My objective is to find their families in Tibet and deliver the messages. It all began in the spring when my journey took me to India. In India, the road conditions are in some places better than in Estonia, but there are parts which are completely handmade. But look at the smile. In 1950, the Chinese invaded Tibet. The communist repression resulted in an uprising in 1959 and eventually led to the Dalai Lama's escape to India. 80,000 Tibetans followed him. Tibet is still a part of China. To date, hundreds of Tibetans risk their lives every year hoping to cross the mountains to northern India. The paradise on earth, Dharamsala. The upper town, McLeod-Ganji, has become one of the most important strongholds of exiled Tibet. The residence of Dalai Lama, Tibetan exile government and parliament, monasteries, schools, and orphanages are situated here. The children's village hosts more than 2,000 young refugees, most of whom have come here on their own. Their parents have stayed behind out of spite against the authorities, duty to their cattle, and out of love for their home. To my surprise, the children call themselves orphans, and there's a number of reasons behind that title. For instance, the children who come from nomad families often lack the information regarding their parents' whereabouts, as the grazers change locations several times a year. The families from villages, on the other hand, may be forcefully relocated to districts of panel houses, and even if the family has remained in the same place and has an address, maybe even a phone, the children are weary of contacting their parents, because there is not a letter or a phone call that is not inspected by the People's Republic of China. The influence of China has been injected into every aspect of life over the years. The younger generation has mostly been affected by the reforms in the educational system. Chinese has gradually become the language of study, and secondary education is no longer free. Tuition fees amount to sums impossible to be afforded by the large Tibetan families. Tashi and Dorje undertook the long and rough journey over the Himalayas to study Tibetan language and culture, although hundreds of kilometers away from home.
Topo, my friend. Luci Kanzala has Luci Kanzala again the Kalikachire, Tatanda Topo Chambuche. No Pansala, Kangas, no Pansarachigare.
Dorje left home in 1998, but it took him a whole year to reach Dharamsala due to the obstacles faced through his way. His parents considered him dead for years. Only 4 years ago he managed to send a shred of information via his older brother. I am alive and in India. Tashi's difficult journey from the far northeastern border of Tibet started in June 1999. He arrived in India 3 months later. In the mountains, the refugees battle with snow blindness, freezing cold and hunger, snipers near the border of Nepal, and bounty hunters, who make substantial amounts of money from the Chinese government for killing Tibetan refugees. Listening to those stories, something kept scratching in my soul until I found a way to deliver news from these children to their parents. I recorded the video postcards. They also gave me the contacts of their childhood friends and directions on the map for my quest. I started by looking for Tashi's family in the town of Chengdu in southwest China, where his childhood friend Samdup was supposed to live. Discovering that we were Tashi's friends who had come to deliver a present to his parents, he was instantly ready to help us, because he was the only one who knew where they lived. Upon our arrival, I looked up their phone number in my secret notebook, and we gave Tashi's family a call.
Hey, Kullar, you can't read the
Tashi's father was surprised of our arrival. It appeared that the family did not live far from our location, and he suggested a suitable meeting place.
Delegatsioon kohdalla. Maybe he's the one.
He works very hard.
你那是 six sense 了，就然后来5干啥 ？six sense 了，然后 seven sense 的了。
Genial.
Rasidile. 그때 환년일이. 야 환년에다 가버리는데 같이 담바이니만 야나면 상황 더 났어. 아마 뒤에 지다라 horticulture. 어디 정말 있어. 따따 개 말이다. 그건 지겠지 말이. 따따 지지. 지지나다 그런 지지라.
At home, Tashi's sister and mother awaited us and quickly prepared aromatic jasmine tea and offered us the baked goods of Tibet's most important annual event, the New Year Losar.
저분은 그러니까 어쩌지 하네 나오네.
나 그거 양도가 제르니가 쓰면서. 그 하란디가 시작했나 그라야 네가 시작했어. 되게 그냥다 lon성가 고모 이방부터 뜻이긴데. 그래서 매초 아자 누지게 되게 되나 샤느라마 되게. 나 몸 찾네 그가 하라프나 그냥. 나 트라프나 그냥 대박게 됐어. 나 젠제라 됐다. 그 주고나 chantam 무슨 나야 그 기사들이야 대용세네.
아자단지 다 상상되는데 안에 참아다이나 부지물대 실행하이나 이치 समाज 부디무당 삼바치 부대주게 몰람타 리와테 자케 테메세 페네가서 제리마리마 트트네게 몰람라 리와테 자케 다 ngaina 지 양아양 삼체유 구친다고 지요는 말했던데 지다 여러무치 같은 게다지 수수지 사야던 통하던 대야던 제 정말다 부디물린다나 땅아 두스인 바나던데 데레다 아프티스피나 땅마 아까반데 데세를 합했나요 어떤에다 두스데 견단하고 지가시 지어다 너 릭실라피면데 건데 오늘은 근데 다 두스데 땅일로 타마테레다 다 두스기 달로 시다 찍찍이게 나틀레 तनिता सुसुगु मछिनाने छि मामवराया कांगे ठेकरे सागिता ता जि समग्र मंदु ता चिथलुंगिलो अंगाजने दनजल हबजन दगे इचसे गोरे तनगे हबजंगलि दाजना ता लु अंगाज कि जिलाता अबामानिगा गुन लुलाता दनचिया रेसेंज कोरेता दनचिया रेसेंज जोनाता छि सामलु नांना छि माचे साजुनेते ता आरेता सुसुगु मछिनदेने ना हामानिगाला शापसि छिगा छि माथा सामयागे देगाने खिलाचितां गोरे तने ता आचियांड्रे न्यांजी तांगुनि निसिकांजालाया हामानिगंदुस अता शापचि दे कोरे ता काता कागरदायना ता हामाग काटन सयाति ता शिंते ता हाचिंगे केछंबरे चितगे नांगा सुगरा मावना जेकमारे चिंगा सुगेमबाना छि छासना छु सामनिदगे जेकमारे आसामलारे ता इबात्यां फान्डो जेब खाप्रन्डो जाबचि केचनदो कुजतांबला ता आमागी ngamara shoksagoyora ता मारा शोजना ता छि 아라 지 용 추전도지 다 메크 나임바나다 이바용나다 도크라다 유즈나다 산사마 일람나 땅가도크 일람나 땅아 유발레지 땅 하마트지다 가찬도 셰시뜸때 일람나 땅주라 땅그라다 다 지수수 무스기나네 수수기 지 천나 촌의 연대즈 마장하다 이바용장나라 되게 헨치에서 어떻게 삼대요 되게 다 단동 루차실을 협정지 땅 다지기전에 다 혹시 특주의 어떤가 너무 대동주간으로 어떤 이마 덕벌선 समाज 지텐데 저야랑더니 다 지인도 땅같이 거래 니 디란다 지치 땅 시 समाज 부디무연가 말람 작게
Dakwa chen dagun kadal tang cho che khoyong ten ngichu til tang chula gada ama chu chipuil da nurgna ta chula ama ga trengiz nu te tende ze nyen mar ta ama ga na chu trenu til ha thama chu rang sane rang den la ti chal rang masi chiku gun den la te chipu chu ma ka rang ga chipu de mulen de ju ti ta iwa ta chen dang jak mu gung chula ta chipu da na ta hande tongsan lika dig tende ze tagmugu ta je ach khruga dig ta kunur ta che achla ka sentri ji gu ta ach sentri ji mugu ta hande lo ton lenju khurure ta ton lenju hande lo tona rmani ach sangla za sa kangung lirgo kidan tigitna muga khurula kan ba ko numar ta churang ta maka rang nya sesh kutte chipudi mugu chuazuro chuten dang jakunre ta che yugla ka che sentri ji mugu ta tang ajala ani hande yojnar hagla ta hande yon mare rang sabtsang ta ngichu chikure ta ajan jmezu wa ta shung jigpa chkhdan ta che rigjna ta shung zama glgon dumuz tanga ga ajan jmez smuti in mare ta jigpa chkhdan
da ta che wa sen krgud mare ta ngichu kin dagon churgdo ta saragara dershna che rkhachugi cherong 이와 생크르군 말은 거치다 리칼라 tumte tanga tena te chide sonda ke gomula chaka chi saunda kida charanga ranga huwa da kuna ranga huwa tende zam shagmda
ta orshe talandi de khondi jena wak da ta leshung sozu nyanju jishung sondi de khondi wak da nyemugu gesno de khondi jena wak ta jena ta lozon chi enigi kha wak 다 하시시 아까라 때터게 인지는 디도 혼데 인지는 치와 그 카퍼즈 동화 지그니 아쿠 치 인지는 와그 영어 데트게 인지는 카퍼글라카네 일라요 아쿠 치식식 터는 거라 다 가다즈가 영어 특가 자리 예스고노 드시다 동화다 인지나다 아니케고 인지나 와그 다 디무시 달시 딜럭시
After experiencing supreme hospitality, we took along the parents' video postcard to Tashi and continued our journey with a warm feeling in our hearts. While finding Tashi's family was relatively easy, it proved much more difficult locating Dorje's parents. 4 years ago, Dorje's brother had told him that their parents had left the old homestead and moved to Lhasa. But this was the last piece of news that ever reached him. We decided to try our luck and examine the possibilities of traveling to Lhasa using a local travel agency.
Just get a permit and then go in there. But it's not working right now. So.
It's not working. What happens?
Well, we are not given any tourists, just permit. We can give them.
After the uprising in March 2008, getting to Lhasa had become a lot more complicated. In addition to an already expensive permit, we needed to buy a whole package, which contained a strict route and a tour guide, without whom it was supposedly not allowed to move around. Being already nervous about the upcoming trip to Lhasa, fate sent me another warning. I fell ill. I had caught a suspicious virus, which no one could even translate to me.
To help others is our pleasure.
Sweet melodies played in the corridors of the train, which, accompanying the landscape sliding by, gave us a feeling like we were traveling through Austria. But this illusion was broken when we discovered that the passengers were divided into cars by their nationalities. The few Western tourists traveled in the comfortable cabins. The Chinese were in the middle and the Tibetans in the last car, in which the strong yak butter smell attacked our nostrils. Mantras whispered by the elderly buzzed in our ears, and children greeted us with enlivening voices. Browsing through the Tibetan car with the camera, we were noticed by a monk, a respectable man claiming to be 2 levels short of becoming a lama. Soon he entered our cabin with a plea for help. He was carrying a small video camera, but he could not operate it. A little later, he was already filming the merry company of our cabin and then left thanking us from the bottom of his heart.
This one.
But a nagging doubt sprouted in my soul. It could have been a fake monk working for Chinese government, recording our faces for yet another file. Tibetans do not generally have money to buy a video camera, let alone monks who live on charities. In the evening lights, the Potala Palace glowed in the distance. Welcome to Lhasa. Our guide who met us at the station took us straight to the hotel. Making arrangements for the next morning, we innocently told the guide that we needed a long rest. After the guide's departure, we took our first walk in the late-night Lhasa, where we met a group of children singing an already familiar hit song by Puputi Namyan. In the next morning, during the citywide cleaning day, our small camera caught a glimpse of the snipers who have been scanning the streets since March 2008. I used the opportunity to call Dorje's childhood friend, who luckily answered and agreed to meet us.
What?
But our first conversation was cut short as our all-important excursion was going to start in a matter of minutes. We set another meeting for the next day and hurried back to the hotel. But Lasse's sightseeing tour revealed that our guide knew less of the local history than we did. Dorje's friend brought her mother and Dorje's brother along to our next meeting, which took place in an outdoor cafeteria as it was the safest possible place.
We visited India a few weeks ago. And we met your brother there.
Their father, mother is Chamdu, not Lhasa.
And the parents went 10 days ago. Father and mother, they went to Chamdo 10 days ago. Is this correct?
After some misunderstanding, it was clear that Dorje's parents had left Lhasa and lived the distance of a 3-day journey. We, however, lacked the permit to travel there, and our financial situation did not allow us to make last-minute changes. On top of all that, our guide was to put us on the train leaving Lhasa in 3 days' time. The brothers' call to the parents' village gave us a faint hope that they might reach us before we had to leave. Soon the phone at the hotel rang, and there she was, Mother. Father unfortunately had not been able to make it. To translate the Lhasa dialect, we invited the Estonian interpreter, Kadri. We played the video postcard without further loss of time. Dorje's mother saw and heard her son for the first time in 10 years.
palada amalada ti chuchuchi aja nomin somalaya tishitile ti ngorotanda kichi so sajati ngarongi non majonchi non re ti tirinde ngarongi ron somalaya kichi share di kaushu chungsura kiko yabushu resonti ti nganote jawa tela tini dalo chula sonsin dogore ti ya yundi somalaya ti kange mumbuchi orti yungubi kuba sode ti nganchugi nanjit mi millennium di kichimujire indi soma denolia rojon chewe tajongi kichimushi chares 계산티 로제가 또 인도 소말이야 사다리 무시위지 파마탄 빈지 소마카티지 용레티 조조탄 고징도 소모부스톤레 틴 소모미티 니기 조 심토니 팅아티야 미는 바티나를 레큐레슨스티어레 틴 소마테노리아 니기 컨티뉴티 로전 제빈 티 domongaro latai sujaldi tinin tandat njine chini chagore machu jeitol shibinati tashul talun dogore 티 소말 인지라 로 큐스노리 안지라 chini tandat chini ro ngaro muit karchaya lanati kemo muicho deti anchi chego sonsong memba chaya te tandat jira chini ro talun kinda somba chi kide dins ne tenga ji chi tong re ja jeng yi ye tong cha shiwo le ti jile ya ti machu pa 그 기대 자기 레터 다시 레터 되는 도구래 뭔가로 뭔가 소용이 없지니 그 정말 핀토에 기계고도 정말이야 소용 돈 뭔가 미치 기획이 무이조 되신데 그러면 기타 파시 배샤사야 기부정이나 만원 판도는 좀 맞게서 이렇게 자금을 손도 있나요 저기 미미는 기치히도 배샤 말에 이나 소용 차더랬어
Dorje, as an excellent student, is a school prefect and helps to organize events, like the celebrations of the 48th anniversary of the Tibetan Children's Village, in which even His Holiness the Dalai Lama participated.
Chandra ta lo chechi ziretile o te pai de di ngoma change dene indu ti ngopele change amucha o sajo yamucha le ta chirupna pa le tan ro tare ngoma change yo sajo yo matru ke indi ngope in o ata ya karo dodo ya ngaro chuchu indila ora pogun chuchu indi ora pogun den chuchu indi ngai pond di ngoma tige indi kama indi ngope sa jo yo ma chen jo yo ma ata ya lan bo je an taud gon ma chen jo ma ko tere o chiro te di rokya indi tio no to gwa ngoma karo kama sa mi chebu me ni gongo ai yon tele thom chida sa ji li jo che thau mare o te jame dupoti ane di ngope sa jin thong ju yo ye te di rokya zu di chen de si ma ju ma na ga kal che go o shi ten penji ro jama che go o jiri ji mana nguji an che da na penche tai no mosu mana ya ja di o le che si ma ju ta son le ta ton sa pa yo re ne o che pa pana pan ro lo pang gi jo je me maria son li sa ba re de o ta son no go do sa ju chen ji lis ken de me de che me ngope no da ma no me rokya indi ngoma chara lambo je chang gu mes ta son ton wala chang ji tada ma chara lambo je ate lambo je ane ya chang gu ndi ja tu che sa jo zamba do sa jo meni mana ja di ol de di del ngoma sa jo meni mana ya ti an duru go ti no chepe mosu mana ya ane ya gur ma che karo ja rokya tu me ya go chu si ma ji ikino bo tre ko gu ji jo li ungu But if you know man, ngoma little pia and no jo man, but no Pama ninga can go continue meli race, you know, but se teru, could take a beteru. You know, Bonjica told you only ungo, bake it, they can go on Ponto, just at Jay, your pesad, pay in your sonji gitemba dog, sonji gitemba dog. You know, Pana death. Matea Kumutu. That's a wrong, no jet and nose. Let die him up the Tequerogoro. Just a giant, your pesa, pain, your son, Jigitemba talk. Trahidele. Song I know, Mana Pai, sweet on Jola, the Pelpa Corolla, and Japan Quali Marate, Sonchi Cha, Caro Pai, she res only Pai, Sama res only Tero, Dangi, she Sonchi Kuyamat. There's a tear in Bushan, Panapa, to that Kojoli, Kotoi, let the sweet on Jola Chapai, Sama, intendi.
I gave Dorje's mother the DVD of the video, hidden behind the protective glances of Hollywood classics, Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. We left Lhasa with the best wishes and peace in our hearts. We understood that only by helping others can we experience the ultimate joy. The snowstorms finally hit the Tibetan plateau. The roads became impassable, and the messenger had to bring her journey to an end. But there are still thousands of Tibetan children in India, dreaming of meeting their parents at home again. Love and cherish your parents while you still have them.